I sat in the dim corner of the grand ballroom at Fort Bragg, my fingers tracing the edge of a napkin as the crowd erupted in cheers for my sister Sophia. She stood tall on stage, her Air Force uniform crisp and gleaming under the spotlights, accepting her promotion to captain like it was her birthright. No one glanced my way, not Mom, not Dad, not even the aunts and uncles who'd flown in from Chicago. I was the ghost in the family portrait, the one they'd written off as a dropout dreamer. Whispers floated through the air like smoke. Poor Emily. Still chasing those tech fantasies. They didn't know the half of it. They didn't know what I'd built in the silence they'd forced upon me. Growing up in our tidy suburban home in Raleigh, North Carolina, I learned to fade into the wallpaper early on. Sophia was the golden child, the one who commanded rooms with her sharp wit and effortless charm. She scored the soccer goals, led the debate club, and had Dad wrapped around her finger with stories of her leadership potential. Me? I buried myself in code, tinkering with old computers in the basement, solving puzzles that no one else cared about. Dad, a retired factory manager with a no-nonsense attitude, always said, actions speak louder than words, but only if they're the right actions. Mine never were. I remember acing the state math competition at 14, bringing home a plaque that gleamed like polished silver. I set it on the kitchen table, heart pounding with quiet pride. Dad barely looked up from his newspaper. Nice hobby. But it's not like you built a bridge or something useful. A month later, Sophia got a B+ on her history project, and he framed the damn thing. High school was more of the same. I graduated valedictorian, scholarships pouring in from MIT and Stanford. But when I chose a local state university to study computer science, closer to home, I thought foolishly. Dad scoffed at family dinners. Probably just pity spots for girls in tech, he'd say, chuckling like it was a joke. Mom, always the peacemaker with her soft southern drawl, would pat my hand and change the subject. Sophia's got that ROTC interview coming up, let's focus on that. It stung like a slow burn, the kind that scars deep without a mark. I told myself it didn't matter, that I'd prove them wrong someday. But deep down, I knew it wasn't about proof, it was about fitting into their narrow vision of success. Sophia was the leader, the star. I was the backup, the one who fixed things quietly while she took the bows. College started as my escape, a chance to breathe without the constant comparisons. I dove into cybersecurity courses, hacking simulations that kept me up until dawn. But then came the blowout. It was a phone call during finals week, Dad grilling me about my internship at a small defense contractor. Sounds shady, Emily. Real jobs don't hide in basements. I tried to explain. It was cutting-edge work on encryption for government systems. A foot in the door to something huge. He cut me off, his voice booming through the line. You're wasting your life. Sophia's out there serving her country. That's real grit. The words tumbled out before I could stop them. I'm done chasing your shadows. I hung up, hands shaking. That night, I dropped out. Not out of spite, but survival. I packed my laptop, accepted the full-time offer from the contractor, and vanished into the ether. No forwarding address. No explanations. Let them think I'd failed. The rumors spread like wildfire through our extended family network, Facebook posts and hushed calls. Emily's off the rails. Probably waitressing in some dive. Such a shame. All that potential down the drain. I let it fester. Why correct them? Their narrative suited me fine. It kept them away while I rebuilt. I moved to a cramped apartment in Arlington, Virginia, near D.C., where the real work began. No more family dinners where I was the punchline. No more watching Sophia post selfies in her cadet uniform with captions like, "Proud to serve family legacy." I ghosted the group chats, Ignored the occasional checking-in texts that felt more like interrogations. In the quiet, I forged ahead certifications, late-night coding marathons, connections in shadowy online forums. I didn't need their validation, I needed results. Sophia, meanwhile, was the family's shining beacon. She aced officer training, deployed on short tours that had Dad bragging at every barbecue. My girls got what it takes, born commander. Mom sent care packages. Dad polished her boots before visits. I watched from afar, scrolling through their lives like a stranger. But what they never knew, what burned in my chest like unspoken betrayal, was how I'd propped her up. The night before her big promotion board, she called in tears. Her personal statement a jumbled mess. Please, I can't do this. I stayed up until sunrise, editing it line by line, coaching her through mock interviews until her confidence clicked. She nailed it. Of course. At the family celebration post, she thanked everyone, mentors, parents, even her high school coach. Not a word about me. I clapped in my empty room, bitterness twisting like a knife. Being the good sister meant erasing myself. Apparently, the real turning point came after her first big promotion party. I'd seen the invites on social media, everyone but me. Not invited. Not missed. I stared at the photos, Sophia center stage. Dad beaming. Mom teary-eyed. It wasn't jealousy that hit me, it was clarity. Cold and sharp. I'd poured myself into a family that treated me like an afterthought. That night, alone with my glowing screen, I whispered to the void. Enough. I pulled out the encrypted email I'd been ignoring, an offer from a classified NSA-affiliated program. They'd headhunted me through back channels, impressed by my freelance patches on federal networks. It meant going dark, new identity, overseas rotations, zero contact. I hesitated for a breath, then accepted. I shot one last message to the family group, I'm out. For good. Then I powered down and disappeared. The facility was buried in the Virginia countryside, a nondescript building hiding a labyrinth of servers and secure rooms. They called me Echo, no real names, just handles. Project Sentinel, Advanced Cyber Defenses for U.S. Military Assets. We weren't just patching holes, we were architecting unbreakable shields, AI-driven threat prediction. Zero-day exploits turned on their heads. I excelled. The silence fueling me like rocket fuel. No dismissive sighs. No, Sophia did it better. Just code. Results. And quiet nods from handlers who valued skill over spectacle. Within months, I led the Vanguard protocol, a system now guarding bases from cyber sieges. Ironically, it protected Sophia's unit too. My code hummed in the background of her successes, invisible as ever. Years blurred, deployments to allied sites in Germany, Japan, briefings in windowless DC, bunkers. I earned classified commendations, the kind you can't share. Then came Operation Eclipse, a massive hack attempt on multiple bases, including Sophia's in the Middle East. I pulled 48-hour shifts, fingers flying over keyboards, rerouting attacks, deploying countermeasures. We stopped it cold. Saving assets worth billions. Lives on the line. A quiet, well done. Echo from command was all the thanks I needed. Back home, the family posted oblivious. Dad's backyard grill-outs. Mom's cookie recipes. Sophia's grateful for another day serving selfies. They had no clue who'd shielded them. But 2 weeks ago, an invite arrived, a private gala for Sentinel contributors. Incognito observation at a public ceremony. I almost shredded it, too close to the past. But a pull, deep and insistent, made me go. I didn't know it was Sophia's big night, her jump to major. I just knew I needed to face the room that had forgotten me. To feel the weight of my own existence. So I flew in. Sat in the back. Let the whispers wash over. Emily? What's she doing here? The applause thundered as Sophia accepted her medal. Dad puffing up like a peacock. That's my girl, military royalty. Mom clapped delicately, avoiding my gaze. Then General Harlan stepped in. His eyes scanning the crowd until they locked on mine. He froze, then strode over. Voice low, "You're her." Echo. The room tilted. Everything I'd buried surged up, ready to break. Head swiveled as General Harlan called my name over the mic. Emily Carter. Gasps rippled. Dad's face twisted in confusion. Sophia's smile cracked. Harlan pulled me aside in the hallway. Awe in his veteran eyes. Your Vanguard system, it's legendary. We thought it was a team effort. You saved us during Eclipse. I nodded. Voice steady. Just doing the work. He shook his head. Why hide it? The truth spilled soft, because no one ever looked. He paused. Then, they need to know. I shrugged. They will now. Re-entering the room felt like stepping into a storm. Officers approached. Whispers turning to reverent questions. You're the one behind Vanguard? Stopped Eclipse single-handed? The air thickened with awe. Sophia stood rigid. Her banner forgotten. Dad's arms crossed. Jaw set. Mom blinked rapidly, piecing it together. Harlan took the podium. Tonight, we honor unsung heroes. Emily Carter, architect of Vanguard, the shield that protects us all. Silence. Then applause like a wave crashing. Not for show, but real. Earned. The ceremony dissolved into chaos. Outside, Dad cornered me. Red-faced. Why the hell didn't you say anything? I met his eyes. You never asked. Dad. You labeled me a failure and moved on. Mom approached. Tears streaming. We didn't see. I'm so sorry. I nodded, but stepped back. I know. But I'm done proving. Then Sophia. Heels stabbing the pavement. Why ruin my night? This was mine. Her voice cracked with raw hurt. I held her gaze. You stole mine for years. I helped you. Cheered you. And you erased me. She faltered. No retort. The betrayal hung heavy. The price of her spotlight clear. A week later. Silence from them, no congrats. No outreach. But another invite came, a classified honors gala in D.C. I went. Not for vindication. For closure. Harlan introduced me, the ghost who guards our nation. Thunderous applause. In the crowd, Dad. Humbled and silent, Sophia. Averting eyes, Mom. Mouthing apologies. As I stood in the spotlight, the sea air cool outside, I felt it freedom from their shadows. The overlooked sister had risen, but the scars remained. A quiet reminder of the cost. Revenge wasn't sweet, it was necessary. Etched in code and silence.